For decades, the mythology of the tech industry lived in a dusty, dimly lit garage where a handful of engineers with brilliant code could outsmart the giants and win the market. But artificial intelligence completely breaks that traditional model. Training a modern large language model requires thousands of specialized processors, drawing massive amounts of electricity inside climate-controlled warehouses. The bottleneck for technological innovation has shifted. The limiting factor is no longer how many genius engineers you can pack into a room. The limiting factor is hard, physical cash. The tech industry has reached a point where the scale of a company's physical infrastructure dictates the actual limits of its innovation. Which brings us to a hyper-aggressive move, executed in a tight 32-hour window by Advanced Micro Devices. AMD launched a major initiative to raise up to $5 billion, specifically targeting artificial intelligence expansion. Securing $5 billion in under 2 days is an aggressive acceleration, moving far beyond the pace of standard corporate debt cycles. AMD's move signals that financial leverage is now the necessary catalyst for translating semiconductor designs into actual market share. When tech giants need to raise massive amounts of cash, they have a choice. They can issue new stock, which dilutes the ownership of current shareholders, or instead, they can simply borrow the money. AMD chose the debt market. This animated breakdown illustrates how they are marketing 4 separate tranches, or tiers, of senior unsecured notes to institutional buyers. Those tiers are structured with long-term maturity dates, stretching sequentially from 2029 all the way out to 2036. Wall Street is eager to participate. The transaction is being led by a consortium of heavyweights, including Bank of America, JP Morgan, Barclays, and Wells Fargo. What makes this appetite remarkable is the macroeconomic backdrop. Interest rates remain elevated, and the broader credit markets are battling ongoing volatility. Locking in a long-term financial structure under these hostile conditions shows Wall Street's certainty that artificial intelligence is a guaranteed growth sector. AMD expects its data center business to more than double by the year 2027. To hit that target, they are deploying this fresh capital across 3 physical fronts: building out AI infrastructure, securing scarce data center space, and expanding advanced chip manufacturing. This rapid physical expansion acts as a highly aggressive offensive strike. By locking in these scarce physical resources now, they box out competitors who are too slow to react. Corporate press releases often call this strategic flexibility on the balance sheet. In reality, it is the exact mechanism required to conquer physical territory in the AI sector. Historically, a tech moat meant you possessed a superior algorithm or a highly defensible software architecture that no one else could easily replicate. The AI arena imposes a new reality. Having a pristine balance sheet and the ability to borrow billions of dollars is now the bare minimum requirement just to step onto the field. Groundbreaking code remains a mathematical abstraction until it is paired with the massive server capacity that only billions in debt can buy. Without that hardware, even the most efficient engineering loses its competitive edge. Successive rounds of massive capital deployment are building a defensive barrier that excludes anyone unable to access the global debt markets. This chart shows projected capital expenditure across the semiconductor sector over a multi-year forecast, and it sends a clear structural signal to both global equity and credit markets. AMD's massive transaction confirms that heavy capital expenditure in technology will remain sharply elevated for years. This is a permanent structural requirement. The defining characteristic of the coming decade is clear. The next phase of artificial intelligence growth relies entirely on deploying institutional capital at a massive scale. The global AI race has completely transitioned, evolving from a battle of engineering into an unstoppable, high-stakes financial competition. AMD has successfully secured its arsenal for a world where the final victory will be purchased with dollars.